What's going on, guys? So here in this box is what appears to be a fake PlayStation Vita. You could also call it a fake PS4 handheld because that's what they call it in the listing. But basically, it's a console I bought from Wish.com. And if you look at the console, it clearly looks like it's trying to be a PS Vita, but there's some stuff that
I have
about
that.
it.
Okay.
First of all, I mean, it has all the same button placements,
Yep,
same buttons. The screen looks the same. The triggers look the same. But there's some signs that it's off, like it's missing the PlayStation Vita badging, and it has some extra buttons and some extra slots that aren't actually on the PS Vita, so it just looks off. And as you know, Wish.com always has sketchy stuff. I mean, if you look at the title, Best Game Console, 4.3-inch, 16GB, 32-bit games, built-in, 10,000 plus PS4 handheld video game console player port. Now, yeah, it's a pretty big mouthful. There's a bunch of keywords like they usually do, and it's kind of funny they call it PS4 portable or PS4 handheld video game portable. But it's clearly some sort of emulating machine that's made to look like a PS Vita. I can show you the description, but the description honestly doesn't say much else. It's just a bunch of jumbles of words. But I'm pretty interested to see what's actually in here and how it compares to a PS Vita. I actually have a PS Vita and a PSP to compare it to. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but it says it has a 4.3-inch screen, but the actual PS Vita only has a 5-inch screen, so that's definitely off. But let's go ahead and slice this thing open. I'm actually not even sure if I have to slice it open. It's just it's clearly in a box, but it's in a bag at the same time. And the other weird thing is usually these things ship from China, but this one actually shipped from the U.S. But it's still made in China, as you can see on the top. Let me try to open this thing up.
Yeah, that's the same one I got.
All right, guys. So here it is, and this thing is interesting. If you look closely, you'll notice that it's like half fake, half real. So it has the PlayStation logo on there, right there. Hopefully you can see that.
He says that's a new one. It's half fake, half real. Mine didn't have no PlayStation logo. I should go get it. I don't know where I put it though. Hold on. Same exact thing. I don't know if the camera can see if my camera can look at it right now, but yeah, same exact thing.
If you look at these apps on here, it's got a Trophies app, it's got Uncharted, Golden Abyss, it's got some real apps on here, like emulating the PlayStation Store, but it's missing the badging.
Ain't as good as probably don't think as good as his.
And this is pretty odd. All it says generically says video games. It says advertised music, USB, game controller, music. That's video, not music. Video, music, camera. I don't know if it comes with a camera on it or not. USB, and then. So yeah, if you look here on the top of the box, it actually looks just like a PlayStation Vita. Has a PlayStation badging down there. All these apps are real Vita apps. It has all the same controls and everything. It looks like they took a screenshot of an actual PlayStation Vita and just took off the badging right there and the badging up there. So that's interesting to see. They even have the same picture on the back. Of course, here they have, I guess, your features listed. So they say 480 by 272. I'm guessing that's the pixels, the width by the height, and just some other generic stuff, a bunch of other stuff, honestly, I'm not sure you care about. So not much else to see on the box. Let's go ahead and open this bad boy up and see what's inside. So I got a little flap right here that hopefully I can extract. And there we go. Alright, so let's get out the accessories first. So we got a power cable, or power cord.
Yeah, got
plugs
that
into AC
too.
power, has a mini USB plug. We have some headphones that look just like an Apple headset. Or the old ones.
I think I got
That's funny. They just got to copy everything. You got another USB cable. This is USB-A to mini USB appears to be. There's something else down here. You got your AV cable. Oh, does this plug into the TV? I didn't realize that. Okay, so that might be cool. And then here's our console. So let's go ahead and pull this bad boy out. And we got our little manual. So 4.3-inch TFT eye protection screen. Why? Normal version does not support this operation. What does that mean? They always say weird things in these manuals and descriptions. It just says game. I mean, I don't expect anything less, but it's just funny. And here is this bad boy. All right. So I ordered a red one. I couldn't remember which color I ordered, but it's red, and that's actually.
Yep, MP5.
Oh, the joysticks feel terrible.
Yep, same exact thing.
These things suck. The triggers. Oh man, the build quality on this thing is terrible. It feels so much worse.
Yeah, I like the black. I ain't like
straight
the
off
red.
the
Yeah, I
bat.
got this. I got
So
this
much
from
worse than the
Walmart.
PS Vita.
Actually,
All right, so as you can
online.
see, it's a shade of red, kind of a darker, glossy red. And I looked it up, and apparently they did make a red PS Vita. I can't tell if it's the exact same shade or not, but it looks pretty close. And then, of course, you have your D-pad over here, your two analog sticks, joysticks, whatever you want to call them. Start select. This should be the PlayStation button, but it's just called Escape. You got your 4.3-inch screen, apparently 4.3-inch. You got your two triggers. You got something, I don't know what that is. There's a little hole right there. I looked a little bit closer and I cannot tell what that is right there, but there's a little hole right there and I don't know what that is. Got some buttons over here. Got your two speakers. Now if you look at the top, you got, like I said, two triggers. These triggers feel terrible. Like the ones on the Vita feel pretty nice. These are kind of feel like trash. There's like one little tiny sweet spot.
Same exact thing.
It's not gonna click. You got your power button up here, which looks just like the Vita. Got your plus and minus, which I'm assuming is the volume. And then on the Vita, you actually have a game card slot up here. This one is some sort of switch that barely functions. Like you can barely push that switch. I don't know what that does, but you can barely move it. Oh, that's so crappy. Here in the back, you even got like the little artistic X, square, O, and triangle like the PS Vita has. I highly doubt it's touchable.
Yeah, I think I call mine my PS Vita clone.
Which is,
I called it a
kind of
clone.
nice. These look like speakers in the back as well. I'm not sure if those are actually speakers. And that looks like a camera. I'm not sure if it actually is or not, but it might be. And then here on the bottom, I got some more goodies. We got a mini USB port, two auxiliary ports. Not sure what those are for. Got your, I guess, SD card right here. I guess it should be in there. I can't even extract it. Oh, there we go. Alright. I thought I was going to have to use like a screwdriver to pop it out. We got something else down here. I can't even get it back in there. Dude, the build quality on this thing is so bad. And honestly, I don't even think I told you guys how much this cost. I shouldn't expect anything less, but I spent about $50 on it. I spent a little bit extra to get it shipped here pretty fast, but it was $36 plus shipping, so pretty cheap. So I can't expect great build quality, but it's really bad. So real quick before we turn this thing on, I'm gonna give you a quick comparison of the PS Vita versus this thing. So here's the PS Vita. Here's this thing. You can kind of see it looks just like it, but it's a little bit smaller.
Oh, the Vita's bigger.
And that's where your smaller screen comes from. I mean, clearly the PS Vita has a slightly larger screen. It's not a huge difference, but it's definitely a difference, and I'm assuming the quality is better as well. This may be a camera up here, because that's where the camera was on the PS Vita, but I'm not sure if that's actually a camera, because I can't see a lens, I just see a hole. Alright guys, so I guess it's time. Let's go ahead and turn this bad boy on. So we got the power button up top. I gotta hold it on. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you hold it down,
mine has
turn
a
it on.
Tekken thing.
There you
It's
go.
right
It's
there.
automatically booted up to like Street Fighter or something. But yeah, the card's in. Oh, is it? It's definitely not touchscreen. I thought it was touchscreen for a second. I guess that's another thing to mention. Also, the screen brightness is pretty poor. Let me see if I can find somewhere to boost the screen brightness. There we go. It gets a little bit brighter. That's not terrible. So the interesting thing is they don't use like the classic button layout from the PlayStation Vita or just a PlayStation in general. You have to press this button right here as like your advance, and this is your back. So that's kind of weird. Got a TV out, date and time, power saving, basic stuff, display. So let's see what else we got in here. So we got our settings, browser. I guess that'll take us through. You can actually see what's on the SD card. So you actually have some legit apps. You got a calculator, a calendar, stopwatch. Wonder if you can actually put things on your calendar. Nope. So this thing says 2006. That's weird. Some weird stuff on here. Got a camera. Oh, we'll see if this works. It definitely works. I mean, it's a crappy camera, but there is a camera. Not that I'd ever have a use for a camera like that. When you got good cameras all over your smartphones now. No point in that camera. We got cinema. So I guess, that's kind of cool. You might be able to take this SD card and load movies to it, or MP4s on here and watch them. Same with photos. You can probably load up some photos and look at them if you want to. I mean, it's going to look really crappy because it's got a pretty crappy resolution, but you can do that if you want to. Music. But yeah, if we come up here, they got some
exact same
games
thing.
advertised.
I got the
Super
exact
Mario.
same thing.
Let's see if some Super Mario games actually load. Load progress, option, quit, and restart. I guess we can do load progress. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. So we got legit Super Mario Bros. Alright guys, I'm not going to play the part when I first booted up this game, but it was a super loud, tinny sound, and obviously it's playing the Mario music, so I don't want to get in trouble for playing it, but dude, it hurt my ears so bad. It was you can tell these are the cheapest speakers possible. But I mean, oh, the frame rate is bad too. If you're running side to side, it does not look great. But I mean, the controls are just like, controls really suck. But I mean, it's definitely legit. Super Mario. I still don't get how people can get away with selling these kinds of things for so long. I know there's been a lawsuit recently where the honestly I can't remember, but it's the website that sells, or where you can download tons of ROMs. Honestly, it's been so long since I've visited that website that I can't remember what it's called. Obviously, it's a bunch of illegal ROMs that you can't actually download legally, so Nintendo got in trouble and stuff. So we got Super Mario. I'm honestly surprised they don't call it something else, just like get around it being called Super Mario. You got Crash Bandicoot, probably like a PS1 game right here. I mean, I guess for how cheap it was, it's not terrible for an emulation machine. I just think it would be better if the controls weren't so crappy and the build quality wasn't so bad. Honestly, I've never hacked my PS Vita, but from what I hear, the PS Vita is a beast for emulation. So if you have a PS Vita, you might as well just hack the real thing and play with the actual good controls instead of the crappy controls here. There we go. I gotta press select to get out of the game. The escape button does nothing. Let's see what else we got in here. In the description, it said something about Game Boy Color.
I don't know if he knows, but cause I tried it a couple years ago. There is a way to load games on here. When you plug in the USB and everything, there is a way to load games. So load games.
PS1. So we saw PS1. We've seen NES. It said NES as well. There's got to be some more games on here somewhere, because it said it has 10,000 plus games. Here we go. Alright. So all I did was press, I guess they have some main games on the front screen. So under classic game, I guess is where all your games are. So it says the game name and then it says whatever console it's from, so GBA. And apparently there's 10,000 games on here. I don't know how you're ever going to get through all 10,000. They really
didn't have that many
feature or something, because like every time I press down, it takes a whole second to scroll down one. So I'm on number 38 right now. It's going to take like 15 minutes to get all the way to 10,000. Holding it down does nothing. Holding down the joystick does nothing. Oh, there we go. If we go to the side, it skips 10 at a time. Let's see if we can get out of the Game Boy Advance games and get to something else. Alright, so I'm at over 1,000 games still on Game Boy Advance. So I've just scrolled through. I definitely saw NFL Blitz a long time ago. I saw Winning Post a long time ago. I wonder if they just bumped up the number of games they have by duplicating the games, because I'm definitely seeing the same games now from Game Boy Advance. I think they just duplicated the games so they could boost their numbers. That's so dirty. Alright guys, so I'm on number 4,401, and I finally found an NES game. We got Super Mario for the NES. And the funny thing is, the picture they're showing over here is not even the NES game. Like, that's New Super Mario Bros. For the DS. And now, of course, more power. Let me plug this thing in real quick. Alright guys, so I scrolled all the way through the list. As you can see, there were 9,999 games, and it basically just repeated the Game Boy Advance games the entire time, except for Super Mario NES is a NES game, obviously. And then Contra and Battle City are NES games right here. I don't know where the rest of the games are. I just looked at the listing, and it says it had Game Boy Advance games, NES games, Game Boy games, Game Boy Color games. Clearly, this thing's a Game Boy Advance emulator, and that's about it. Honestly, I mentioned PS1 earlier, but I don't even know if I saw PS1 on there. Yeah, so I'm going to call this thing a piece of junk. First of all, the listing is wrong, incorrect, which is not surprising. It's Wish.com. That's how they do it. Everything in the description is lies. It's just what it is. But basically, you got like 3 NES games and then a bunch of Game Boy Advance games, and that's it. I mean, maybe you can load up your own games on the SD card and put them in the right folders and stuff, and you can play other games.
Yeah, you can.
It's funny how bad this thing is. I mean, I guess if you want something that can play every single Game Boy Advance game in history, it's not a bad console. $40. Honestly, I'm not sure if they play as well as the original games. Probably not. They're emulated, so their emulation is usually not quite as good. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting console. It apparently has TV output. I don't even want to try the TV output. I can't imagine how bad the pixelation is on that. And now that I think about it, the weirdest thing is they put this on a PlayStation Vita console, but they only put Game Boy Advance games on here. And obviously the Game Boy Advance only has the 2 triggers, and it has 2 buttons and the D-pad. There's no analog sticks, none of that stuff. So I don't know what the analog sticks are for. I don't know what the extra buttons are for. Maybe, like I said, maybe you can load your own ROMs onto here and play some other games. But I don't understand why they copied a PS Vita. It looks just like a PS Vita. Yeah, crappy console. $36 plus shipping.
PS Vita
even
clone.
at that price, I don't think it's worth it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Another weird console from Wish. I mean, there's like endless supplies of weird consoles on Wish.com. I have like multiple other consoles coming in that I'm gonna do videos like this on. But yeah, if you like the video, go ahead and like and subscribe, see future content. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.
Yeah, it's show you this again. I don't know if I'm focused on I don't know if it's even focused on the camera good, but just something to have if you going somewhere in this board. You know, I know some people play games on their phone, but I don't know. But this one's like Super Nintendo and Nintendo games and stuff on there. So, but mine didn't come with no SD card like his did, unless somebody took it out the box. But it's the same exact thing, just different. Just focusing on the different color. And you can load, like I said, you can upload your own games and stuff, so it's not that bad. It's just, a little dirt cheap handheld. You said $30-40, so it's not bad.